Banks discourage the use of cash because they want to rake in your hard-earned money. You see, during the 2024 Nigerian election or 2023 Nigerian election, the federal government abolished the use of cash. Their excuse: we don't want we don't want anyone to bribe, we don't want anyone to hand out cash to these thugs, so we want a free and fair election. After this announcement, there was a massive eruption of excitement around the streets. People were jubilating. I've never seen the citizens so excited, even after expelling foreigners from our borders. Everyone, down to the woman who sells bean cake at the corner of the street, adopted this rule. They adopted this rule because they saw it as an incentive for a better country. So they were willing to suffer in the short term to gain in the long run. Everyone adopted this rule, although it was very difficult, but because they put such a stringent control on the amount of cash circulating in the economy. They even went as far as printing new kind of currency and terminating the old currency. Their excuse was some politicians had stacked up the old currency somewhere else. So by abolishing the old currency, they made it null and invalid to use to rig the election. So everybody saw it as an incentive. The next day, the day of the poll, everyone was gyrating. All the youth taking selfies at the polling station, calling their friends. I hope you went to vote. I hope you did this. I hope you did that. So 2 days later, the compilation of the results started. The next day, they announced the winner of the 2023 presidential election. Immediately they announced it, the riot broke over the street. Everyone was rioting. So the opposing candidate took the rigor because there were so many bloated figures. People were wondering, how did he get so many votes in this area? I went to the polling station. I didn't see anyone voting for you. So what happened is the opposing candidate had staffs put on hats filled with camera. So he had mathematicians from all over the world to pull the actual figure. He had so many evidences, enough to rule out to rule out the initial candidate who rigged the election. Took him to the Supreme Court. After 2 hours of reading the indictment, 2 hours of court hearing, it was ruled against his favor. It was so sad, very sad. Now, I know you're wondering, how does this story relate to how is this story, how does this story relevant to the conversation at hand? My friend, you don't understand that what they did there is effectively turn the economy into a cashless economy. So when they turn the economy, when they abolish the use of cash, you now have to transact online. So every payment down to your bottled water has to be sent online. And when you make any transaction, the bank charges you. The bank charges you. The next year, there's a very big bank, which I won't say its name. It reported over $400 million in revenue. $400 million in revenue. Do you get? Exactly. So for those of you who are slow to understand, perhaps you're new to this channel and you are not familiar with this kind of information and your head is, I'll break it down for you. When you transact online, they charge you a percentage for executing that transaction. Take this analogy for instance. Say you had $20, you went out to cut your hair. The barber now has the $20 cash. He goes out to get groceries. The shopkeeper has the $20. The shopkeeper goes to restock. The manufacturer now has this $20. So at the end of the day, the manufacturer keeps the $20. You say conversely, you use a mobile app, you make that transaction. You take you transact $20 to the barber. The bank now has 1.5%. You make that same transaction to the shopkeeper. The bank takes 1.5%. He makes it to the manufacturer. He makes 1%, 1.5%. And at the end of the day, the bank keeps the $20. At the end of the day, the bank now has the $20, not the manufacturer. The bank has the $20. So when you go out, the more anytime you say we're in a cashless economy and you believe you sound diplomatic by using that word, or you sound like an aristocrat. Here in Nigeria, we cherish people who have a high level of vocabulary. So when you use words like that, you are hailed as an intellectual. My friend, I want you to know that they are busting you in the ass. You're the one paying for that $400 million revenue. So this is a detailed breakdown of how the banks are fucking you over. It's always, my friend, a pleasure speaking to you. If you've gotten so much value and if this is new information to you, be sure to check out our other videos so you don't be slow. So I don't have to explain and break down every single thing for you. Although it's my duty to do all of that for you, but it's also my duty to insist that you become a better person. As always, my friend, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.